Raise a glass.
Raise a glass to 2024 and saving democracy.
Let's make it happen.
If you should run into a clerk, say thank you. Just say thank you.
In November, my team began serious negotiation with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen.
This claim about illegal invaders is completely made up. It is absolute fiction. And the airplane and 3 buses seen in Mr. Maddox's tweet there were actually used by NCAA men's college basketball teams that were landing at Detroit's airport to play in, as you said, March Madness.
We could have easily prevented that shooting. We could have easily prevented that homicide from taking place.
Try to overturn our election, even amounting in the tragedy at our U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
They asked for mercy, but were given the max, 10 to 15 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter. It's the first time in history that parents of a mass shooter have been held criminally responsible for their son's crimes.
What I have found is when I am speaking with groups like this, and we can have a respectful conversation with facts and data, that people are extraordinarily supportive. But that's where we need your help to get the facts and the data out.
There are only 2 presidents in American history who left office with fewer American jobs than they entered it. Herbert Hoover, and yes, Donald Herbert Hoover Trump.
Good afternoon. Not trying to sell you anything.
No.
I'm just here on behalf of Matt Maddox. He's your current Republican representative of your area.
Yes, he's horrible, and I do everything I can to get him out.
Okay, you have a great day then, ma'am.
Thank you.
We've got a verdict. Ari Melber.
We are looking at count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. 3, 33 and 34, guilty. That is Donald J. Trump, defendant, found guilty on all 34 felony counts.
The best antidote for anxiety is action. So we're going to throw out a lot of opportunities for you to take action. So stay engaged.
There's a lot of good progressive things going on in Oakland County.
At least 8 people, including 2 children, were hurt in this shooting.
People are absolutely in shock in this area. Another mass shooting here in Oakland County, this one taking place on this beautiful day.
So when we head to the polls in November, firearm safety must be our #1 issue.
End gun violence! End gun violence!
Everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
This is the first time anybody has suggested that a president acting within an official capacity can break the law. This isn't an adjustment in the law. This is a change in our entire constitutional system. It says that there is one of the three branches of government that cannot be checked by the other two.
Gun buyback programs are a convenient way for people with weapons to get rid of them if they don't know how to.
Yeah, and there's a lot of folks who don't. In Southfield, a church was busy on Saturday not only buying guns, but destroying them on site.
Take a look at what happened.
But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother.
We have been through, I will say, it feels like we have been through a year's worth of news in the period of time since then.
Love talking with you in red, white, and blue. It's fun. But we got 99 days until November 5th. 99 days.
And he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
It's been so heartening to meet people like you who are really concerned, interested, engaged, eager for information. And there are a lot of you out there. It's not just, this group. I mean, Indivisible is a national organization, so there are groups like this meeting all over the country.
To kick us off by celebrating our incredible President Joe Biden.
Let me know in my heart, when my days are through, America, America, I gave my best to you.
Michelle Obama is asking you, no, I'm telling y'all to do something.
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
I just think we should do it today. Let's just call for it. I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman. I want to help you out. You can second it, right? Make the motion to impeach President Biden. Go ahead. It's your turn. You second it. No, nothing. Okay, we got nothing. So I want to, with my last couple minutes, show the American people that they're never going to impeach Joe Biden. It's never going to happen because they don't have the evidence.
I found a local Indivisible group, North Oakland County Indivisible, and that was my first ever political meeting. First time I ever went to political anything. So I have a great affinity for what you all do in the grassroots way that you all cropped up after 2016. So thank you for doing what you're doing, and thank you for having me.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
Do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
I have concepts of a plan.
So first I'd like to introduce Lindsay Cotter and Laura Dodd. They're going to come up and speak. They're from Huron Valley Schools.
You drew a huge crowd, Indivisible has here. It's nice to see everybody and nice to see so many friendly, familiar faces.
Holly and I, we're walking the streets of Milford today.
the wrong rally. I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Detroit, you're looking frickin' good.
I think it's important to use your voice, so I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote, please.
The day after the 2020 election, thousands of mail ballots were being counted right here in this convention center. And because Donald Trump was willing to spread lies about voter fraud in Michigan, protesters came down, banged on the windows, shouting, "Let us in, stop the count." Poll workers inside being intimidated.
With less than 3 weeks to go before Election Day, Sarah Mae Seward has everything mapped out. She's pounding the pavement and going door to door to get her name out.
Hello. Hi. I'm Sarah Mae Seward.
She's arguably the busiest woman in northern Oakland County, as she is currently a member on 6 different boards.
She just obviously cares a great deal about this district and wants us to have the representation we just have not had since Matt Maddock has been elected.
Politicians have got to stop treating immigration as an issue to scare up votes in an election.
Hey there. How are you doing? If you watch the show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
We had the choice between a prosecutor and a criminal, and we chose the criminal to be president of the United States.
On Tuesday, Trump won re-election, which is, to put it mildly, not what I was personally hoping would happen. And honestly, in Trump's victory speech, he couldn't seem to believe it either.
Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. It's really crazy.
I see a lot of new faces out here. If you are new or returning, can you raise your hand?
If you talked to a family member, if you talked to a friend, if you wrote a postcard, you sent a text, you knocked a door, it made a difference somehow. If nothing else, you've convinced some of the opposition that we're not all wackadoodles.
At least 2 people are killed and 6 people injured in a school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm feeling a little dismayed now. I'm so close to Christmas. Every child, every person in that building is a victim and will be a victim forever.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet. And most of all, I'm going to say something that Trump would never say unless it favored him. The people voted, and this is the choice we made. In January, Donald Trump becomes president, and that's that. He won. Doesn't mean we give up, but it also doesn't mean we storm the Capitol because we don't like the result. And, you know, I've been trying. I know a lot of people don't want to hear anything positive. I've been trying to come up with something positive. The best I can come up with is we've been through this once before. And yes, this time it is probably going to be worse, maybe a lot worse. But I also think that maybe we will look back and realize that in the long run, this is what we needed to wake us up. Maybe the people who care so much about him need to find out how little he cares about them. Now, all the promises he makes about stopping wars and imposing tariffs, how he's going to crush inflation and cut taxes. Now he has to do this stuff. And I hope he does. I really do. I hope his next unpredictable act is to reach across the aisle and do something positive. He really does. The bar's low. He has an opportunity to win us over. Remember when he took office the first time? He started working on infrastructure with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi until the other Republicans say, hey, we don't do that. We don't work together. Maybe this time he'll shock us and actually do some productive things. He won't, probably, but he could. Or maybe the only good part of all this is he can't run again in 2028.